Spring has definitely sprung. I finally found a book that made me feel something. That book has altered my brain chemistry, that's for sure. Hey friends, it is March 3rd right now. The end of February was just like so chaotic. My mom went on a trip, I was working, there was just so many things going on. I've decided that I'm going to be doing monthly vlogs. So hello, welcome to today's monthly vlog. My goal is to get this out on the last day of the month. I thought that I would take a second to kind of just reset my bookshelves. Let's do so. Little like daisy garland from Target. I love it. It's nothing crazy, but it is a cute little light that I got from Five Below. It just gives little spring vibes, you know? I've had a new light every single month. In January, I had a butterfly. February, I had a heart. March, I'll have a little mushroom, and we'll see what we'll have in April, my birth month. It's a Sunday and it is almost 5 p.m. I'm finally settling into the month of March. I think I just spent a little bit of time filming a video that I didn't think I was gonna film. I wasn't planning on filming a March TBR, nor was I planning on filming a February wrap-up because I just didn't want to talk about the books from February anymore, and I didn't really want to set a TBR for March, so I just wasn't gonna film a video, but I ended up doing it anyways. And so I'm gonna edit that tonight. Maybe we'll get that up in a couple of days, if not tomorrow. After 12 whole days, I finally finished Tell Me Lies, which I rated 2 out of 5 stars. I did not enjoy this book whatsoever, and then by the time I got to the end of the book, I literally, like, my face was like we just went through all of that for the ending to be what it was. And then there was like these 2 little subplot mystery sort of points in the story. Steven had this secret, and then Luce had this secret, but only from her mom. They never really get resolved. Like, what was the point of them? Was it just to create that angst so that I kept reading? I would not recommend this book. I don't know if I just wasn't in the right mindset. It just wasn't for me. I did not connect with either of the characters. They are extremely dislikable, both of them, but especially Steven. I will not be talking about it for the rest of the month. Moving on. I'm coming out of a little bit of a reading slump. I am just kind of looking for a book to pique my interest, spark my interest again, give me back that motivation that I've been missing in a couple of the books that I've been reading. I started this at the end of February, but I only read maybe like the first 40 pages. I've finally gotten to about the 100-page point of Flawless by Elsie Silver, and it's picking up. I think it's just like a different writing style. The way that this author is writing about these 2 characters is a little bit unique and different, even though it's discussing a lot of the same tropes that I've read in other books. And so I think I'm gonna like this book a lot. And then I recently checked out on Libby the audiobook for the fine print, and I've been listening to it. I'm about maybe 20% in, if not more. Always a different experience when you are listening to an audiobook compared to like listening to your own voice whenever you read it in your head. But I think I'm adapting to it and staying open-minded, and I think that it's helping me get out of that sort of reading slump, because I'm obviously progressing in a book, but I'm not physically sitting down and, oh my god, these dogs. I'm not physically sitting down and like reading a book and like getting in my head about reading. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited. Guys, it is currently March 9th and I wanted to film this yesterday because I was really feeling the vibes. I finally found a book that made me feel something. Flawless by Elsie Silver. Although it started off a little bit slow and took a second for me to sort of attach myself to these characters, I'm hooked. I'm in complete shock and awe at how this book has just surprised me. At first, it just subtly felt like it was like an okay book. I was like, all right, you know, this book isn't bad, but I really love this author's writing style. I really love the development of the relationship between these two characters. It is about a bull rider, professional bull rider named Rhett and his PR agent's daughter, who is tasked to come whip him into shape or get his image into shape. I love this book so much. I'm literally almost done. I haven't been picking up the camera because I just wanted to focus on reading. Guys, please, the hype is real on this book. Read this book. Like, I can't. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my god. Elsie Silver. I can't even. I can't. Oh my god. That was great. That was great. Okay, I'm gonna read the epilogues. Oh my goodness, this book! 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars. 4.75 if I had a choice. I think I just want to give it 5 out of 5 stars because this is the first book that has made me feel something in a very long time. I could just be feeling extra giving because of my recent book slump. This book did things, and I'm so thankful for it. Moment to update you guys because I have started A Court of Mist and Fury and I'm actually reading it and listening to it on Libby. It's not always super reliable, but I found a couple audiobooks that were like immediately available. The first one being the fine print, and I listened to that, finished that I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and I think I rated it like 3.5 stars. I think I liked it. There were elements that I liked about it, but I think sometimes whenever I listen to audiobooks, it is a different reading experience than listening to like your own voice in your head. With the fine print, I think that I just didn't like the whole pretending to text somebody even though you know who they are. There were just like some tropes that were happening in the book that I wasn't a personal fan of. I have since moved on and I finished Flawless. I finished Flawless this morning. Flawless was flawless, let me tell you. I cannot wait to get into the rest of that series because I really do enjoy that particular author's writing style. Elsie Silver could be one of my favorite authors. I have since, as I've already mentioned, started A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm Currently on chapter 7, and that is just a baby dent in this big old book. Okay, it is not very far, but I think that I'm appreciating having the audiobook. I think that now that I am listening to more audiobooks, I'm getting used to the format, getting used to adjusting to different voice actors or actresses. I'm enjoying the book so far. It is starting off, I don't want to say slow, but you can tell, I can tell at least, that this is going to be sort of setting up the remainder of the books, and I can see that there's going to be a lot of character development in Feyre as well as Rhysand, and very interested to continue on, and I'm happy that I started that today. And I just feel good. I'm kind of getting my groove back a little bit with reading. I think that the audiobooks are helping me out a lot with that, which I really don't mind. So those are my quick little updates right now. I am going to continue listening on to ACOMAF.
Deal with that. I might very well climb into bed and never get out.
A bit later in the night. I'm not in a book slump. I'm not gonna say I'm in a book slump, but I'm definitely feeling like moody. And so I don't wanna like force myself to read something that I don't wanna read. I'm honestly in the mood to read, what is it? The Right Move? Is that it? The Right Move? But I have contemplating picking up Twisted Lies, which is also right there. Twisted Hate was a book that I absolutely fell in love with last month. And so I want to read Twisted Lies, and I also want to be on this little like reading green book sort of trend, right? So I've been kind of trying to convince myself and pick up Twisted Lies, and the reason why it's taking me a second is because number one, it's a bigger book. I mean, look how big this thing is. It is over 500 pages, 550 pages. That's crazy. Also, I'm still thinking about The Right Move. I mean, mile high. I'm still thinking about those characters. I'm still thinking about how I don't have any more progress to make in that book, and that there's nothing else that needs to be read. Like, that book has altered my brain chemistry. That's for sure. I just thought I would pick up the camera and let you guys know what is going on. Maybe we'll try the first chapter or two of Twisted Lies. Bookmarks right now, and it's the month of March. I found these clover bookmarks, and I also have little sprout ones. I'm gonna use the clover for the month of March. I have been reading for about 20 minutes now, and I just read the first 2 chapters of Twisted Lies. I feel like it reminded me a lot of Twisted Love, like the first chapter in Twisted Love, whenever Alex has to go pick up Ava, which I know is random. I don't really have any initial thoughts. I feel like I almost could tell right away with Twisted Hate that I knew I was going to like it right off the bat. We already know these characters, so there's no need to like get to know anybody on a surface level, and instead kind of hopping right back into the story. I will say though, Christian's first chapter was a little bit boring, but I see now what his archetype of being this morally gray character means or could mean, because I'm not sure if I've read any books with morally gray characters, and if I have, I don't think I acknowledged or even realized that they were morally gray characters. So it's very interesting that that's like the highlighted trope right up front, and I'm interested to see how I like this character. I'm going to take some time. I have been watching Carrie Can Read ACOMAF plot summary video. Just the majority of the book in general. I have been consuming it via audiobook, and I think I know what's going on in the book, and like I think I'm catching on to the big things that happen, but I think that just for my brain's sake, and as someone that isn't a huge fantasy reader and can sometimes get lost in the sauce of all the details, I think it is a cool idea or a smart idea to watch the plot summary video as I read the book. I think I am enjoying this book so far. I am about 35% through the book. I will say that there's like a lot happening in terms of like world building and kind of really getting to know what the different lands look like. Specifically right now, I believe we're in the Night Court, and we are in Valaris. But in this particular book, we get a lot more of the bargain coming to fruition that happened in Akatar between Feyre and Rhysand. Through this bargain, Feyre is learning so much about herself as well as about the fairy lands in general. She's finding out that she could have a potential impact on the lands, and I think that's something that she really wants to do. But she's also dealing with a lot of the trauma and aftermath of her experience at Under the Mountain, and also how the people of the Fairylands view her after her experience there, all kind of coming together, and we're sort of navigating it along with Feyre. I'm currently in part 2 of this book. I'm not sure how many parts there are. I tried to like skim through to see, but I haven't stopped on any other parts, so there could just be 2 parts. Who knows? And we've met some very important people to Rhysand, and we're meeting a lot of new characters. I will say that there are some issues that I'm having with this book, or not issues, but things that are just kind of like, not a big fan about, but I think they are just like minuscule things. It's nothing too crazy. Yeah, those are my initial thoughts right now on ACOMAF. I'm gonna go watch the video. Been listening to ACOMAF on my way up here. Currently 46% through the book. I'm on chapter 29, or like in the middle of chapter 29. There is so much going on in this book at this point, and I think I understand where Tamlin gets lost in the sauce. Like, we don't hear about Tamlin much in this book, and I think I'm understanding where that is coming from. I'm starting to understand Feyre's motive, and we're starting to see her character develop into much stronger, more well-rounded version of herself. And she's starting to, in this point in the book with Rhysand, go back to her hometown. They end up going to the Mortal Lands. It's almost like a culture shock, being able to see the parallels and the differences in her life before and now. There's almost like this disconnect. There was already a disconnect between her and her sisters before, especially her and Nesta. You can totally tell the disconnect even more so now that she is high fae, and it's just a very interesting read. I'm appreciating it for what it is, but I will say I don't think I'm super captivated by it. I think that will change as the series goes on. There's so many more books left and so much more content left in this series. I can't just base how I feel off of how I'm engaging with this particular book. It's nice to be able to get through it via Libby, and I'm enjoying it so far. Another book that I read last night, or took some time to read last night, was Twisted Lies. Ended up getting about 10% through the book, so I'm only on page like 55 or so. We've already gotten a glimpse of what is in store. Stella ends up finding out, or ends up deciding with her manager, that to boost her image, and because she's an Instagram influencer, putting a relationship on her social media will boost her image, will boost her fan base, and there's an element of fake dating that is coming into play. We are seeing that Christian Harper is looking to fill that role. And literally in the first chapter, Stella, she lives in Christian Harper's building, which we find out in Twisted Hate. There's a scene where she comes across Daniel Russo, or Dante Russo, who is like the head of this big conglomerate group of luxury goods, kisses her hand as he meets her, and Christian, it like says to himself, I don't like people touching what's mine. And I underlined that because I was like, ooh, okay, period. Like, we just started and she's already claiming her. Okay, like, I will say that I'm not as hooked right away as I was with Twisted Hate. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to like this book.
bunch of shamrock out in the street. They call it murder. Welcome to Shamrock.
It is March 19th. I haven't updated the camera in a few days. St. Patrick's Day was a couple days ago. I've been recovering from that weekend, let me tell you. I have started a couple and finished a couple new books since the last time that I've updated the vlog. I have finished A Court of Mist and Fury. I have rated that 4 stars. I've also started, and I don't know if I'm loving it as much as I loved Mile High, but I have been reading The Right Move by Liz Tomforde. There's fake dating in The Right Move, and I think sometimes with the fake dating trope, one thing that kind of annoys me or bothers me sometimes is that we get this inner monologue, whoever it may be, and most of the time it's the female character. We get these thoughts of like, oh, was that real? Oh no, that had to have been fake. You know, like, obviously it's probably not fake, but I will say that with this particular rendition of this trope, Liz Tomforde has sort of flipped the script a little bit. I haven't seen a male character that kind of questions the genuineness of the connection that he seems to be having with the character, which in this story is Indy. And so it's just very interesting, and I think I like that little twist. It's making me more open-minded. I've also started Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and this, it's so cute. It's literally so cute. I love the premise of the story. If you haven't heard about Love in Other Words, which you probably have, being introduced to these two characters. Macy is a young girl who has lost her mom to cancer, and her mom left letters for her dad to fulfill certain things as Macy grew up, just to make sure that she had a fulfilling childhood as a woman. We're following these two alternating timelines, and in the then timeline, which is the past, we're following Macy as her dad is fulfilling those letters. They just bought a summer home, and they moved into the summer home where there is a boy who lives next door who ends up kind of becoming a really good friend to Macy. And then we're also following the now timeline, which is years in the future. I can't remember exactly how many years in the future, but over 10, 11 years in the future. Macy is older. She hasn't talked to the boy in a few years. His name is Elliot, and they happen to have come across each other. They are basically trying to rehash and or just kind of like reopen that door of communication to kind of talk about how things sort of left off. And so right now we don't know what happened all those years ago that sort of broke their communication. These two storylines are sort of at the same time. Eventually I feel going to converge, and so I'm feeling very connected to the characters. I think Elliot is the most adorable boy ever, and I appreciate how sweet he is to Macy. And then Macy, I appreciate how complex her character is. I understand how her mind is working and her dynamics between her family and her friends, or lack thereof, and so all in all I'm really enjoying that book. Other than that, I've also finished Twisted Lies. I'm not sure if I updated the vlog on that or if I said anything about that, but I did finish Twisted Lies. I think I rated it 4.5 stars. I did. I rated it 4.5 stars. Overall, there was a lot of parts in it that I really did enjoy. I think 4.5 stars is a really good rating. I loved that he called her Butterfly, and I loved the chemistry between the two characters. It genuinely gave me like 50 Shades of Grey vibes, if that makes sense. I don't know. So yeah, I just thought I would take a moment to update you guys on my current reads, my current update right now, and where I am in the month. Hi friends! It's honestly been a few days since I picked up the camera, right? I don't remember. Whenever I feel the urge to vlog, I just throw on the camera, so I don't even know what this whole monthly vlog is looking like. But I did want to check in with you guys and let you know where I'm at right now in the month. So it is currently Tuesday, March 21st, and yesterday was the first day of spring, so happy spring, everyone. Spring has definitely sprung. Like, we're getting those glimpses of spring and like good weather and warm weather, and then we get little spurts. Like today, it was literally raining all day. Since I last talked with you guys, I think I was still reading Love and Other Words. I have since finished Love and Other Words, and I've rated this a 4.5 stars. This book is really good, and I get the hype about it. I also have been getting through The Right Move, and oh my god, I love this book so far. I am 75, 80, almost 80% through the book. I don't have that much left. I think the way in which these characters deal with such different and complex problems and issues, I was peeling back so many different layers the more I read into the book. Sign me up. Okay, I got 2 new books today. So today, it's the 21st. Today was the re-release of Addicted for Now. I just read Addicted for Now in February. It's somewhere on my shelf. This is the self-published version, and this is the traditionally published version. Self-published, traditionally published. I honestly like this one a lot. It's cool to have a self-published version because it has a lot of character. Big old text. Each chapter has a bow on top. With this one, it's just a little bit more condensed. Looks like that. Instead of the big old text, and then there's no more bow on top of it. But overall, I was like flipping through it, and I'm so happy that I bought it. I was thinking to myself, like, I literally just read this in February. Do I need this copy of it? I really don't. But as a book collector, or as someone that wants to have their own library one day, and like books that either I can resell or give to my kids in the future, you know, whatever the case, like, I think I do. Okay, so the other book that I got was honestly such a random purchase. I was literally walking to go pick up Addicted for Now, and this was on the shelves, and it just caught my eye. Half-Baked Murder by Emily Jordan. It gives me like cozy mystery vibes. So these are the 2 books that I picked up from Barnes today. Such a fun time. Pippa!
Okay, I'm just gonna say this one.
It's so cool to see like faces, because these people were not what I was imagining in my head. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell is that? Ew! Lucy and Steven just met. First of all, I think Lucy, the actress that's playing Lucy, I really am liking the show right now. I think that the angst is really building. Things are fast paced. I'm not reading words on a page. So everything's looking up. Everything's looking good right now. But I will say, I, in the back of my mind, know what's going to happen, and just like how I felt about the book and the story itself. I'm literally just like sitting here skeptical. I can see already the changes that they've made. For example, in the book, Bayard is located in California. Instead, in this show, this school is located in New York. And then, I don't know how to explain it, because it's kind of like a major spoiler of the book. They're choosing to go about it very differently.
You know this fun?
What?
Are you taking a picture?
No.
You're a liar.
Bye.